Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a fitness Q&A. A couple days ago I posted on my story, drop your fitness questions, and I just went through and selected, I would say between 10 and 15 questions. I don't want this video to be ungodly long. One, because they take me forever to edit, and two, because I don't want to bore you guys. So I'm going to start off with some of my most frequently asked questions, and then I'll go into the ones that I thought were just like a little bit more interesting slash ones that I wanted to answer because I thought they were fun. Okay, so I am coming to you from the future of when this video was initially filmed. I got a lot of questions regarding Gymshark and I chose not to answer them because I didn't really think I was going to be able to talk about it yet. At the time I had hoped to have this video posted, but as usual, I suck at editing and it took me a little bit longer than I intended, and now I can talk about it. So I'm sure, as a lot of you guys have seen, I am officially sponsored by Gymshark. I'm super duper excited, very blessed, very thankful, very grateful for this opportunity and everything that will come with it. This year is going to be crazy exciting, just huge things happening in my life, but I'm just really excited. Hopefully I get to meet a lot of you guys soon through it, and yeah, I'm just super excited. Just wanted to announce that because I did get a lot of questions and I didn't put it in this video, but now I can talk about it. So yeah, thank you Gymshark for this opportunity. If any of you guys are watching this, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Now that that announcement is out of the way, we can get into the actual Q&A part of this video. First question, what are your stats? I'm assuming that means like height, weight, yada yada. I am 5'10" and I weigh about 150 pounds. I don't really weigh myself regularly, just every once in a while to check in and make sure I'm not gaining a ton of weight or losing a ton of weight. But I mainly go off by the way I feel, how I look, progress pictures, all that good stuff. So yeah, I used to weigh myself like every day religiously when I was cutting, and I do plan on like weighing myself more consistently as I cut, but not every day. That's just a little excessive and, in my opinion, unnecessary for me because I'm not competing. I don't really need to know that information like to the T every day. It's just not good for my mental health. But yeah, I'm 150 pounds and 5'10". I don't actually know like my specific waist, bust, hip measurements, but I do have that on one of my Instagram story highlights. That's like the Gymshark reviews. I do have that on there, so if you're interested you can go look. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Next question, how much cardio do you do? This one's kind of a tricky question to answer because I don't get on like a machine and do steady state cardio. I haven't done that since like July. I think I used to do like 20 minutes on the Stairmaster a couple times a week when I was like trying to cut. With my new split, I'm doing 2 HIIT slash like plyo functional training workouts a week, and I kind of count that as my cardio because it does get my heart rate up a little bit more than lifting does. But I walk over usually over 12,000 steps a day, honestly. I go to school on a very large college campus. I walk pretty far. I just am pretty active in my daily life, so I don't feel the need to do cardio, especially because up until this point I've been bulking for the past couple of months, so I really didn't need to increase my caloric expenditure more than I already was doing. As of right now, I don't really consider my HIIT slash plyo workouts like cardio. They're more of just like a full body not lifting day. I don't really like view them as, oh, I gotta do my cardio for the week. Next question, how do you find the right macros for you? I have an entire video about this on my channel. I will link it below. I go into full detail about how to calculate your calories and macros depending on your goals, whether you're cutting or bulking, plus some helpful hints, and I just do a lot of explanation, so I will link that below for you guys. What is your split? So I just recently changed my split. And so I'm doing 2 leg days a week, 2 HIIT, functional plyo, whatever you want to call it, workouts a week, and 1 upper body. Previously, when I was focusing on bulking, I was doing 2 leg days, 2 upper body, usually split up into shoulders and triceps and back and biceps, and then 1 HIIT workout a week. And I think that's a great beneficial split. I'm just reducing my upper body training days solely because I want to focus on more functional movements, and I'm not really looking to grow my upper body anymore. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'd love to be like more defined, more shredded, but that will come as my cut continues. And as far as my cut goes, I'm not really doing anything serious. I'm just being more attentive to what I'm putting into my body, putting more nutrient dense foods into my body, and making sure that my daily activity levels are pretty high. I'm not implementing any cardio. I'm not restricting my calories. When I was bulking, I was focused more on eating lots of calories rather than eating nutrients and lots of calories, if that makes sense. Okay, next question, and this actually comes from my boyfriend's roommate's girlfriend, and she's super cute. So Milena, if you're watching this, hello. But she asked, when do you know when to bulk and cut? So this is kind of just based on your own personal goals. If you're looking to develop more muscle, put yourself in a caloric surplus, even if it's just a slight one, if that's what you're looking to do, if you're trying to bulk. And if you want to lose a little bit of body fat, look a little bit leaner, that's when you know when it's time to cut. Personally, what I do is I like to bulk during like the winter months / months that I'm gonna have to have more clothes on my body to stay warm, solely because I don't feel pressured to like look a certain way. Like I don't have to be in a bikini. And not that my body doesn't look good in a bikini now, but just for like self-confidence reasons. When you bulk, you are going to put on a little bit more body fat, so I like to do that in the winter when I'm wearing stuff like this, leggings, just stuff that I have to wear to keep me warm. Also, bulking in the winter is great because your body fat percentage is going to go up a little bit, so you'll be a little bit warmer when it's cold outside. My bulking phase lasted from the end of September until right about now. I'm not like necessarily going into like a super strict cut or anything. I'm just going to LA for spring break in like a month-ish, a little bit over a month. So I'm just trying to lean up a little bit, but I'm not trying to be like stage lean or anything like that. I'm just taking myself out of a surplus so I don't continue to gain weight, if that makes sense. And then as far as cutting goes, my cutting usually lasts after spring break. I'll go back up to maintenance calories and then start cutting again in like April until probably like August. It's kind of hard to say because everybody's body is different, but I'm not in like a super strict cut for that amount of time. I'm just minding my calories, making sure I'm not necessarily gaining weight. And again, I'm going more off of how I look and how I feel than the number on the scale. But to answer your question in short, it's kind of based on your goals. If you're looking to gain muscle, you gotta bulk. You have to eat in a surplus. If you're looking to be a little bit more lean, you should be cutting or at least at maintenance calories with a little increased cardio. Okay, how long are your workout sessions? Usually an hour to an hour and a half. Sometimes they're 45 minutes if I'm in a rush / I don't write myself a super long workout for the day. But yeah, I usually, unless I'm like with my friends and we're kind of just like messing around or just talking a lot, they usually don't last more than an hour and a half. And if I am with my friends and my workouts are like almost 2 hours, there's no way that I'm actually working out that amount of time. I probably worked out for like an hour and 15 minutes and the other 45 were spent setting things up, talking to my friends, taking selfies. I usually don't exert energy for more than an hour and a half. How did I become interested in fitness? This is a really good question, and so I think there are a lot of different ways that I can answer this, but in short, I grew up very active. I played sports, and also my dad used to compete, like he used to be a bodybuilder, so that was just something that I was around from a very young age. My parents are very health conscious. Like you would never catch us dead with like a bag of Doritos or Cheetos or like sugary like ho-hos, nothing. We never had that in my house. The extent of our chip collection was like blue corn tortilla chips, like, and I'm not complaining, but when I was a kid I used to hate that because I wanted all the junk food. Like you're a kid, you want junk food. So that was something that I was around from a really young age. And then I played volleyball in high school, but I was never really that good at it. Like I'm not very athletic because I'm not coordinated enough, but the only real thing that I liked about going to practice or being on a team was team workouts. I loved working out. That was so fun to me, and it was something that I felt I was pretty good at. So that was that, and then I quit volleyball my senior year because my coach was a crazy person, and that's when I got more into lifting. But I don't really want to call it lifting. Like I would do like circuit workouts with like a dumbbell. I actually used to go on Pinterest all the time and just search up like arm circuit or leg circuit, and I would get a dumbbell and I would go hide in the corner of the gym and I would do my little workout, call it a day, go home. And then in college, like I talked about in my previous video about anxiety, I didn't really find anybody my freshman year that had similar interests and that I wanted to be close friends with. So I did start going to the gym more often, and I would follow a lot of YouTube workouts. That's another thing to mention that also got me interested into fitness. When I was in high school, I used to spend hours watching like Nikki Blackketter, Heidi Summers, Christian, Max, like everybody on YouTube. I loved watching fitness YouTube. I loved copying their workouts. That was super fun for me. So it's kind of cool to see it come full circle, and now I'm sitting here doing the same thing for you guys. As far as my fitness account goes, I made that my sophomore year of college because I didn't really have any friends after transferring to Ohio State. It was a way to keep me accountable, and since I made my account, I've become much more accountable because if I didn't work out, I wouldn't have anything to post. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into fitness. Lots of little things along the way kind of put me where I'm at right now. I wouldn't say it was one thing in specific, but definitely the very start of it was my dad. We had a gym in our basement. I grew up being very active and being exposed to the lifestyle that my dad lived, and he didn't compete after I was like a child, but he still keeps up with his physical fitness very much so. So yeah, that's how I got into fitness. Question: how/why do you use your Apple Watch to track your workouts? I actually asked for my Apple Watch solely because I wanted to track my workouts, and I don't necessarily think it's like 100% accurate, but it is something that I'm using on a daily basis, so at least it's a consistent way to see my progress. I don't think that the exact number of calories burned that it tells you is 100% accurate, but like I said, it is something that I'm using on a daily basis. It's the same type of technology. Tracking it the same exact way for all of my workouts does kind of give me a general idea of what I'm doing. Don't necessarily think it's necessary. I just kind of like stuff like that. I'm a little bit nerdy about health and fitness stuff, if you haven't already noticed. So I just track my workouts because it's interesting to me to see what my body can do, the energy that I'm exerting. And it's also nice because especially when I'm bulking, my workouts are pretty intense, so I want to make sure that I'm refueling my body after the fact so that I'm not in a deficit. But yeah, for the most part, that's why I track my workouts. And how do I track them? You just go to, oh, it's already up. So you click on the little workout app, and I track all of mine as HIIT. So you just press this. I'm not going to do it because I don't want it to be recording my heart rate while I sit here and talk to you as a workout. But yeah, that's how I do that. What supplements do you use and when? I use all Women's Best products, obviously, but I kind of just use them at my discretion when I feel that I need them, and I don't expect everybody to understand that. But when you've been doing stuff like I do for as long as I have been, you just kind of you learn a lot about your body, and you learn what it responds to, what it doesn't, what it needs, and when it needs it. So basically what I do is I have a set amount of protein in my mind. I'm not super strict about my tracking anymore because I've been doing it for so long. I don't feel the need to like write everything down. Like I can kind of keep track in my head of what I've been eating every day, and then usually at like 6 p.m. I'll go on my FitnessPal and like enter everything in rough estimates. Like I don't weigh everything out anymore, but just to make sure that I'm eating enough during the day, or I'm not eating like crazy excessive calories. But that kind of trailed off from the initial question. But I use protein powder when I'm not getting enough from my daily diet. I just feel like I'm low on my protein. I will have a protein shake. Actually I have 3 favorite flavors right now. Salted toffee pretzel will be my all-time favorite, then cookies and cream, and then strawberry banana milkshake. Those are like my top 3 go-to right now. And then I also drink my BCAAs, I would say like 2 to 3 times a week, usually when I'm having a more intense session, so like on my leg days or my HIIT days. And then if I'm just like, ew, water just doesn't really sound that good to me today, but I know I need to drink it, I will like flavor my water with my BCAAs, but I don't use them consistently enough to say that they're like helping me make progress or help me recover one way or another. I just kind of use them at my discretion because I do not think that you need supplements to reach your fitness goals. You can do it all completely through your nutrition, which is why they're called supplements. They're supposed to supplement your diet. They're not supposed to replace the food in your diet. So yeah, that's what I'm currently using. And then I have 3, I don't know if I would call them supplements or vitamins, but I'm looking at them right now. I could grab them. So here's what I'm using currently. This Women's Best omega-3. So this is basically like your fish oil. Well, I want this focus. So I take these every day. I also have been taking Balance by Alani Nu for like a couple, I would say like 3 or 4 months now. And I can't say that it's like cured all my issues, but I do think that it's helped improve my moods, like hormonally. It has made me a lot more stable, and I don't want to say it's like cleared my skin up because I definitely don't have clear skin, but I do think my complexion is like brighter and I don't break out as bad as I used to. And then I also take my daily vitamins from Women's Best. So yeah, that's what I take on like a daily basis, these 3 things, and then I just take protein and BCAAs at my discretion. Okay, next question. Best way to check form if there aren't any mirrors in the gym? Record yourself. If you're with your friend, ask them to record you. And if you're by yourself, I literally just take my phone, open the video, face it towards me, and then prop it up on my water bottle and make sure that I'm in the frame, hit record, and go for it. I think that is an awesome way to watch yourself back. I think that's great. Even if there are mirrors, record yourself working out. That way you can play it back, watch your form a couple times, see what needs to be fixed, see what looks good, and adjust from there. Next question. How are you able to use weights at your uni gym around guys? I tell them to get out of my way. No, I'm just kidding. I think that this comes with time and just being more comfortable being in the gym or the weight room. I really don't pay attention, and if people are looking at me, like if a guy is looking at me good or bad, like he's checking me out or he's staring at me, judging me for what I'm wearing, I literally just stare right back at them. I will stare into your soul until you stop looking at me. Like, I think it's really unfair that men try to make women feel uncomfortable in the gym. Like, we all have an equal right to be there. We're all just going to better ourselves. Like, I do not go to the gym to judge other people. To be totally honest with you, when I go to the gym, I'm kind of in my own zone. I think that just after being in the gym for as long as I have, I kind of know what I'm doing. I stay out of people's way as long as they stay out of mine. It doesn't really make me uncomfortable anymore, but it used to. Like I said, I would just take a dumbbell or an easy bar or whatever and just do all my workout with that in a separate corner at the gym. And sometimes you have to do that. If you're not confident enough, work your way up. Like, I don't expect anybody to walk in the gym and be like, I own this place, let's get to it right away. It's something that you kind of have to work yourself up to. Question, current fitness goals. Kind of just change up my training. I want to do a lot more functional work. I just want my body to feel better, my joints to feel better. And then as far as like my diet / like physique goals, I would like to lose a little bit of weight, but I'm not necessarily set on like a number. I just want to like look and feel a little bit leaner. I do hold a lot of my fat in like my lower back right here, which is great because it's not super noticeable to most people, but to me it is, and I'm a little bit self-conscious about it. So I would just like to lose a little bit of fat, but I'm not in a huge rush. I have the rest of the year. I don't really have to be in a bathing suit or like crop tops and shorts for a couple more months, so I'm not crazy worried about it. It's just something that I progressively would like to lose a little bit of fat while maintaining as much muscle mass as I can. Question, how do you eat so much but stay so lean? I know you lift heavy, but I feel like I'd gain fat. So this is something that I get in my DMs a lot, and I'm just going to try to break it down in the most simple way that I possibly can. So first off, before I start this, I would just like to say, do not try to tell me that muscle weighs more than fat. How can a pound of something weigh more than a pound of something? Like, that's like saying what weighs more, 1,000 pounds of bricks or 1,000 pounds of feathers? They're both 1,000 pounds. Like, you just need way more feathers than you would need bricks. So it's one thing, but I will say that muscle burns more calories at rest than fat does. So because I have a lot of lean mass, my metabolism, my body needs a lot of calories to just be at rest. Like, my muscles need calories to function, to be at rest. So because I have more lean mass, my metabolism is higher, my daily caloric expenditure is higher, which means I need to eat more to meet that expenditure / surpass it if I'm in a surplus, if that makes sense. So because I have a lot of lean muscle mass on my body, I can eat more, is the most basic way I can put that for you. And lifting heavy allows me to continually increase my lean muscle mass, so I continually will be able to eat more as long as my training continues the way it has been. How does your training change between cutting and bulking, or is it mainly diet? I would say it's mainly diet, but because I'm eating more, I usually can increase my strength a little bit more. But when I'm cutting, I still try to lift as heavy as I possibly can. But yeah. And also with my training, when I'm cutting, if I feel like I need it, I will implement cardio into my routine, but that's usually kind of my last resort because I hate doing cardio. I hate being on a machine. It is so mindless to me. It's not enjoyable. Like, I do fitness, I lift, I work out because I really love it, but I really do not love like machine steady state cardio. So if I can avoid that / do another form of cardio, I will. How often do you train abs? Currently loving your 6-week plan, but not sure when to squeeze abs in. So I usually only train abs like once a week. A lot of my compound movements and stuff like that incorporate core strength. So I guess I'm like training my abs when I squat or hip thrust, deadlift, blah, blah, blah. But like doing an actual ab circuit, usually just once a week. My workout guide that I'm working on now is 8 weeks, and I include 1 ab workout a week and explain to you guys how to fit it into one of your lifts. I would say if you are trying to squeeze abs in on a plan that you're doing right now, whether it's mine or somebody else's, I usually do it on days that I do upper body just because I'm less fatigued than I am on leg days or hit days. So yeah, that's just personal preference though. Okay, next question is a really good one actually. Have you tried any other guides before you made yours? What's the tea? So my first guide that I ever purchased was Robin Gallant's, I don't even know what it was called, but it was basically like to help shape your shoulders and your glutes, and I bought that in December of 2017, and I went through it like twice. It's like a 4-week plan, and it really just helped me understand what movements work best for me and which ones don't. So definitely recommend that one if you're just looking for a basic hypertrophy program. I've also tried, I don't want to say I finished it because I don't really remember, but Megan Grubb's Peach Plan is great, especially if you're looking for booty gains. Check that one out. And I also have had / partially tried the KK Fit like bulking guide, and that one was very interesting. Very different from my normal style of training. It's a lot of like full body or like upper and lower on the same days, which was great. But I also never really finished it, so I can't say. I usually I like to have guides to pull ideas from for my own workouts, but I don't necessarily like follow anybody's plan to a T, solely because like I post my workouts for you guys, and I don't think it's fair for me to like buy something from someone and then share it with all of my followers. Like, that person's losing out on money they could have made from people who want those workouts, I guess. In the gym, how do you know if you're pushing yourself hard enough? I've been struggling with this a lot. This could mean a couple different things, I think, but as far as like choosing what weight to use in the gym, my general rule of thumb is it shouldn't hurt you, first of all. Like, you should be able to complete reps and it not hurt you. You should be able to complete the amount of reps that are written for that workout, and you should feel fatigued within the last 2 to 3 of them. But if you can do, so say it's like you're doing shoulder press and it's 4 sets of 10 and you take 15s and you can do 10 of them, easy money, could probably do a couple more, you need to up your weight. But if you're doing shoulder presses and you take 30s out and it's 4 sets of 10 and you can only get 4 of them without dropping them or having to take a break, you need to lower your weight. So general rule of thumb, you should be able to complete the reps without pain and feel fatigued within the last 2 to 3. If you don't, up your weight. If you're struggling to do the reps, lower your weight. This is one of my favorite ones, and one that I definitely feel I need to answer. Do you believe in the whole stop eating after 9 p.m. thing? Absolutely not. I eat until about 10:30, 11 most nights. And then I go to bed around 12, and please do not come at me for that. I've been doing that for years. There's nothing wrong with it. My body responds fine, so I don't want to hear your BS about, oh, you can't eat after 8 p.m. Like, no, it works for me. If it works for you, do it. If it doesn't, don't. I don't really start eating like it's 10:14 and I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I have my coffee right here. I won't eat my breakfast until I'm done with this and then feel hungry again. And because I don't eat until later in the day, I'm usually hungry later, and because I eat late at night, I'm not hungry when I first wake up. Honestly, that's just what works for me. If you feel you need to eat when you first get up and you don't want to eat before you go to bed, that's fine. To me, what matters most is eating enough calories throughout the day, whether that's all at 9 a.m. or all at 10 p.m. I don't recommend eating all of your calories at once, but just do what works for you. And I don't think that there's any correlation to fat loss or fat gain and what time of the day you eat. Unless you are like a highly trained Olympic athlete and you need to have your nutrition perfect for whatever you're doing, it really doesn't matter, in my opinion. Okay, I think this one's really good. How do you plan your workouts, i.e. certain amount of compound versus isolation? I write my HIIT workouts. I try to do 5 to 6 movements, at least 2 leg, at least 2 upper body, and then 1 to 2 abs. And then some of them, like if I do like a squat to med ball toss, that's like upper and lower. So I might do another upper, I might do another lower. I don't know, just kind of depends. But as far as my HIIT workouts go, I try to incorporate at least 2 movements for each like upper lower body part. And then for like leg or upper body days, I do at least 1 to 2 compound movements, at least 2 unilateral / like single leg, single arm movements. And then I try to do at least like 1 thing on the machines, whether it's hamstring curls, leg press, leg extension. I'm really drawing a blank on upper body things, but for upper body, I like to use cables a lot more just because there's a lot more you can do with it. But yeah, that's usually how I structure my workout. I don't like have a set plan every single time. I just make sure to kind of cover all my bases while I'm writing my workouts. And it's something that it takes a lot of practice. Like, it's not something that you should be able to wake up and do tomorrow morning. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Next question, have you had any eating disorders and do you get anxiety after overeating? When I was a kid, I would binge eat all the time. We never had like junk food in my house, so whenever I could go to my friend's house, I literally could inhale an entire family-sized bag of Cheetos and not even blink and be like, where's my mac and cheese? Like, I need more food. Solely because my parents just wouldn't have unhealthy food in the house. When I was around unhealthy food, my mindset was I have to eat all of this right now because when I go home I can't have it. But that was probably, I would say that was between the ages of when I was in 6th grade till I started high school. And then after that I just was like, this is not good for me. I'm kind of making myself sick. And I would watch a lot of fitness YouTube at that point, so I was introduced to counting macros and just like healthy meals I could be eating instead, and I wanted to look like those people that I watched on YouTube, so I would copy a lot of their meals and stuff like that. So that kind of like, I wouldn't call it an eating disorder because I was never diagnosed, but I definitely would like binge eat a lot, and just kind of realizing what my goals were made me stop. And do I get anxiety after overeating? Not really, because I don't overeat all that often. I kind of can just fit the treats and foods that I want in my daily diet without going overboard by eating other healthy things throughout the day. Okay, 2 more questions. What are your grocery staples? Eggs, almond milk, avocados, asparagus, rice, potatoes, cereal, bagels, peanut butter, coffee, oatmeal. I'm literally just trying to list off things that I usually buy when I go to the grocery store. What else? Creamer, I guess, if I'm out of it. I love frozen fruits for my smoothies. I love shrimp. Recently I've been eating a lot of shrimp. I really only eat chicken. I don't really like turkey that much, but I'll eat it. I don't eat any red meat ever. I've never had red meat in my life. No interest in doing so. And it's not for like a health standpoint, just it literally does not sound appetizing to me. Like, I don't want to eat it. Doesn't smell good, doesn't look good. Personal preference. But I've been eating a lot of shrimp recently. I don't really eat fish either because one time when I was younger, my mom made salmon and it was like undercooked. I got food poisoning, and now just like fish grosses me out. But yeah, I would say those are my staples. I always try to get a lot of carb sources. My main fat sources are peanut butter and avocado, and my protein comes from eggs, shrimp, chicken, and then protein powder if I need it. Okay, very last question. Will you be at the Arnold in Columbus this March? Absolutely. The convention center is literally less than 10 minutes down the street from my school, so I will be there. As of right now, I'm not going to be at a booth or anything, but I'll probably be there Friday and Saturday just walking around, so if you see me, come say hi. Okay, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you learned something, whether about my personal life or about fitness. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.